So let's continue to read the report of John's Gospel, Injiil, about the cross, what really happened. We read from 25 verse onwards in chapter 19. Jesus' mother stood near the cross. So did his mother's sister, Mary, the wife of Clopas, and Mary Magdalene. Jesus saw his mother there. He also saw the disciple who loved standing nearby. Jesus said to his mother, "Dear woman, here is your son." He said to the disciple, "Here is your mother." From that time on, the disciple took her into his home. If you remember well, women were always caring for Jesus. Those he healed from diseases, he drove out demons, they followed Jesus. So it was not just Jesus' mother was at the cross, but there were other witnesses, and there were women, and they are reported to be there in the Injiil. So when Jesus saw his mother, he didn't address her anymore as his own mother. He didn't say, "My mother," but he said, "Dear woman." So he handed her over as an adult person. Being a son of his mother, he gave her a responsibility just before he died to care for his own mother to John. John, the one who wrote this gospel we are reading from, who was the beloved of Jesus, the closest disciple, he took care of Mary, the mother of Jesus, from that time onwards. And history reports that he took her along all the way to Ephesus, where she probably died, where there is also a grave. And so we know she lived a long life, and John took care of Jesus' mother since then. And that's reported in the Injiil. So he said to her, "John is your son now. This is your son." And he also said to John that this is now your mother. So this is just before Jesus died on the cross, 33 AD, outside Jerusalem in Palestine, where Jesus uttered these words, and they are reported in the Holy Injiil. Let's read on what it says here. When we travel on the next page, what happened on the cross? Verse 28, later Jesus said, "I am thirsty." He knew that everything was now finished. It's going towards the end. He knew that what Scripture said must come true. A jar of wine, vinegar was there. So they soaked a sponge into it. They put the sponge on a stem of hyssop plant. Then they lifted it up to Jesus' lips. After Jesus drank, he said, "It is finished." Then he bowed his head and died. So we see here in a first century report, in a historic report, that Jesus really died on the Roman cross. It is 3rd April 33 AD, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, according to historic reports, that Jesus gave up his spirit and he really died. If you have an idea that this is not true because of later reports, a few hundred years later, because of rumors, because of somebody else who said something, you are probably in mistake. If we celebrate Christmas today, it is not so much the fact that Jesus came as a baby into this world, but that he died as a 33-year-old man, the most cruel death you could die, executed under Roman law, capital punishment for murder, for rebellion against the Roman government, and all because he said and he claimed who he thought he was and who he was believed he was, that he was the Son of God. Do you believe that Jesus died for you? If you believe, you will be saved for eternity. Jesus says, those who believe, I give them the right to become children of God. Children of God, not by a human decision, not by a father's consent, by a father's decision, but chosen by God. I wish you, my Facebook friend, you are chosen. You embrace the love of Jesus. He says in Romans letter that when we were still sinners, Jesus died for us while we were still sinners. And this is how God demonstrates. This is how God demonstrates His love for you and for me. And this is the reason, God's love for the Christmas season. Have a nice day.